like you did not want to participate in that. So, okay, no problem. I respect that. We'll just stay focused on new stuff in Velixo and AI. But my notes from the day 2 keynote will drop next week. And I wish I could have gotten some insight from you on it, but I respect that. And so, yep, we won't cover anything there, but I am interested in, this is basically going to be your session from last week, I think, and then whatever else we want to geek out on your new stuff, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since we got together. I love geeking out, Tim. By the way, we did a live webinar. I think it was yesterday or the day before. We had over 500 people live on LinkedIn, YouTube, StreamYard, and it was pretty much a full redo of the session I did, the breakout session.
Oh, I totally missed that. Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah, it's everywhere, and I should have turned on sharing. I just turned on sharing to our own YouTube channel. I want to make sure it's always fun when we get together. Share me the recording or the link that you have. I will make sure to put this on my LinkedIn page as well.
Cool, will do. And I did also want to mention, we did this thing a while back. We called it Excel Talk. I'll drop that on the screen. There's some old episodes there. What was that? When was that? 2022. Wow. So like 3 years, almost 3 years ago. And so really my motivation for that also was like, especially with dynamic array formulas, which were coming out in Excel at the time, I really wanted to pick your brain on that. And so, yeah, similar idea here today. Let's see what you got. And just want to learn from you the latest stuff. I'm always a big Excel fan, and you're always doing cool stuff with Excel. And so, yeah, let's see what you got.
The real big announcement that we did at Summit was around AI and our new Velixo Intelligence product. I got a few demos lined up to look at, but there was also a set of enhancements that we presented. Actually, I might bring up this slide here that I had from my screen. There are like 3 big areas that we invested in for Acumatica. Oh, thanks for doing this, Tom. So we've improved the integrations we have with Acumatica, adding things like the new query builder, the ability to retrieve attachments, new functions, for example, date-based project balances. As you know, in Acumatica, you used to only be able to calculate balances by period. Velixo already had that for the financial functions, but now we've added that as well for the project functions. Attachment retrieval, that's a cool one. If you need to use Excel to prepare a report, and then you need to get attachments from Acumatica, so we do that now.
Hold on that one. Can I dive on that one? So attachment.
Sure. Yeah.
Tell me more. So like if I need to send like an invoice format that includes multiple PDF backups, like pulling, how do you actually pull that into Excel? I'm curious. Or you don't have to dive in on it yet. I just that caught my attention.
No, it's pretty easy. We actually added a new function. Get attachments. Okay, get attachments. Here we go. Attachments. And this requires the object name, the key fields, and
you able to zoom in?
Yeah.
Are you able to zoom in a little?
Is that better?
On my end.
Or is there a magnifier? Magnifier.
StreamYard. We gotta add a zoom capability in StreamYard. It might already be here. I'm looking for it. Keys.
Well, you know what? I will open the L page. Just zoom in.
You know what? It might work if you just zoom in on the Excel. Like all I really need to see is the cell zoomed in a little more, so I can see the formula.
Yeah, right here.
I'll zoom. Yeah. I think that'll work. Yeah, I'll just see it in mine. Perfect.
Get attachments. Okay, so connection name, Acumatica. Let's say you want to get it from AR invoice or AP bill. And then you need the key fields. So reference number, document type. And one of the neat capabilities of this feature is the ability to add a caption, just to watermark the pages that are retrieved from Acumatica. So if, for example, you're doing time and materials billing, you might have a set of expenses that you made, subcontractor expenses, and you can tag them with anything that's also from the spreadsheet. So I have an example here of how you can use this. get it.
Yeah, let's see the output. I'm curious. So it kicks in when you actually run the report distribution, huh?
Correct. Yes. Yes. So that's the same report we were looking at. Okay, and this is an attachment that was extracted from Acumatica, and in red at the top is the caption or the watermark that you can add. So
and that watermark can take an Excel formula. Is that how it dynamically created that $250,000?
Correct. Yes.
Cool.
And in this case, this is the exact GL coding. So that's a cost code that was used, and this is the amount at the GL level. So if there was any error when inputting the amount, you can quickly spot it by comparing what's on the invoice with this watermark. But yes, it's a formula, so you could use it for anything you want. I've seen pretty interesting use cases for this tool so far. So obviously construction and time and materials billing is the number one use case and why we built it. I've seen it used for compliance documents. So if you have any insurance certificates that you need to retrieve and prepare a single packet. We have private equity customers too that use Velixo to manage investment funds. And they will often need to re-invoice expenses to portfolio companies. And as part of this process, they need to have the same type of documentation as well shared with the company. So they will get all the attachments from Acumatica. They will generate a transaction, and they can prepare this PDF as backup document very easily.
That's cool. Wow. All right. Awesome.
I think so too.
Let's see. Am I going back here, or are we back on your screen?
We can go.
Oh, yeah, your slides. Let me get back to your slides. Let's see.
Yes.
There you go. All right. Go ahead. Keep going. So yeah. So the three there were the file attachments, the query builder, which I think you'll get into, and then there was a third thing on that first point, but I can't remember.
Smart links as well. I just brought up the slide that dives into the integrations. Query Builder is the most visible one and the one that will impact clients the most. And this also goes hand in hand with an innovation that Acumatica shipped. Actually, I think it was 2 years ago, but it's not something that has been heavily used. We've been keeping this under wraps because we really wanted to have the fit and finish and the polish of the insert query UI. So you've done a lot of work with OData, obviously, Tim, right?
Yeah, before you go there, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. So Melissa likes I assume that's the document thing for a construction company. If anyone wants to comment in the chat, make sure to keep an eye on that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know what you're talking about. Smart links, OData, I'm familiar with, but yeah, what are you talking about there?
Yeah. So
and what's that enhancement? You said 2 years ago. What did the Acumatica do?
Yeah, it's the OData version 4 endpoint. So when Acumatica added OData, it was only working in conjunction with generic inquiries. So now Acumatica also has OData version 4 support, which they and they made it possible to work with the data access classes directly. So you don't even need to create a GI anymore to work with data in Acumatica. It's different. It has some limitations. Let's see if I can.
Yeah. Okay. And while you're pulling that up, I do know what you're talking about there. I feel like it's mostly useful for ISVs, so you don't have to deploy generic inquiries into a bunch of customers. But customers might be able to utilize that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're always geeking out a bit, but Tim, you can see here all the objects exposed. Okay. So that's the actual OData metadata. Okay, but you can see every single data access class is there. And then let's just pick SO order. So this will most likely bring up a list of sales orders.
And so it's nice for an ISV product because deploying generic inquiries is tricky. Although Velixo, I think you guys are the only ones who really figured out how to do it, but it's still tricky. Yeah,
we have a pretty simple process. So we've moved to using customization packages, but in the early days of Velixo, you would just log in and it would set up everything. So we decided to standardize on customization projects to align with other products, and also because Acumatica will be retiring some of the endpoints that we use for this automated setup. So we
gotcha.
wanted to get ahead of the curve. Yeah. So yeah, Query Builder. Let me show you, Tim. I think you will like this one.
Oh, whoa! So smart links. I'm still missing what smart links actually are.
Smart links. Okay. Okay. So you want to learn more about smart links first?
Yeah, and how? So OData. There's a relationship between smart links and OData 4. I'm still missing that.
It's separate features.
Okay. Yeah. So what's smart links? I missed that.
Okay. Smart links is a way to add buttons and menu items in any Acumatica screen that allow you to open a specific spreadsheet filtered on a specific record. So it's designed in a generic manner so that you can add links to all your Velixo spreadsheets and the relevant areas of Acumatica. For example, let's say you want to look at a project profitability report when you're looking at a project. You could add a smart link in this project. Let's say you want to.
Do you have an example of that?
Yes, absolutely. Let's go into Acumatica and I will show you. So just one thing, smart links are a Windows only feature. So I'm using a Mac, but I'm going to switch to my Windows VM to show you this feature in action. We could technically implement that on Macs, but I think it's 5% of our user base. And as much as I like using the Mac, we decided just to focus. This is one of the very, very few features here that is Windows specific. Everything else is platform agnostic. Okay. As I told you before starting this podcast, I'm not home. My son has a hockey tournament in Quebec City, and I'm at my mom's place, so I don't have my second monitor. I cannot actually see you when I'm full screen.
No problem. I'll keep the chat monitor in case anyone wants to ask questions or.
I could actually. I have my tablet. I think I will open my tablet here, and this way I will have a second screen, and I'll be able to see you, Tim. It will be better. So yeah, doing this live. I have a helper next to me who gave me the tablet. There.
And I'll let you know if I feel like the Wi-Fi is too degraded to handle 2 connections. I'll let you know. You might want to shut it up.
StreamYard. Okay, perfect. I hope this will work. Okay, smart links. So I just logged into Acumatica. I'm going to.
Yes, you said any screen. Like, do you think the use case is really for a data entry screen, or is it more about a report?
It could be any data entry screen. So a customer, a vendor, a project. It could be an invoice if the invoice has something important that you need. Yeah, I'll give another example. Actually, I didn't consider using it for with the smart links feature. So apparently, we're having good success with construction companies in Australia because they need to provide a very specific remittance report when they send a payment. So customers are using Velixo to do that. We could add a smart link that directly opens the remittance report filtered on the project before you send it. So it's a time-saving feature. Let me show you smart links. So I do have one smart link set up here. It's in the project screen. So you give it a label. You select the location where you want it to appear.
Oh, can you browser zoom a little bit? Maybe just a couple control pluses. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, maybe one more.
One more. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's a smart link configuration page.
Interesting. Okay, so, all right. So general, that's where it's going to land. You can also put on the action bar, target settings, and you don't have to normally you have to publish a customization project to get stuff to show up. You guys found a way to. Interesting.
Yeah. Don't need to publish anything. Okay. Yeah. So it's tied to a screen. You select a screen from the sitemap, and you need to specify the target. The target can be either an Excel workbook or a custom hyperlink. So you could use that to open web pages if you wanted to, but it was redesigned with workbooks in mind.
I'm curious on that. Does it work with Excel Online? So I could do a hyperlink and it would filter in Excel Online?
No, because as far as I know, there's no way to control the spreadsheet remotely. It would be
I
great.
kind of figured that, but I thought I'd ask. Yeah, okay. So you need
Yeah.
access to the document that's at that link that you just copied and pasted.
Yes, it's going to open it on Excel desktop. Yeah. And
Yeah,
the
what's it
real
look like
magic.
in the project screen? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll show you. Yeah. So the real magic happens here. So you can add named ranges that will be mapped to field names on the screen. So column field name here. Okay, you select from an Acumatica field. And right here is the name reference in the Excel spreadsheet. So you'll see how that works in a second. So let me open a project. Italian restaurant.
This is really cool. We haven't even hit the AI stuff, and yeah, you got all sorts of stuff cooking. This is cool.
Yeah, the AI stuff is jaw dropping, Tim. Wait till you see it. I had a look. So when we had the holiday party last December, I prepared a short speech for the team, and for this year, I wanted to highlight all the contributions that the team made. So I ran some statistics to see how much we delivered. And I found over 300 user stories that were completed in 2025. Good chunk are actually customer suggestions. So we want to make sure that we implement the stuff that our customers are asking for.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I think, Travis, we'll see this when Gabriel pulls up Excel. It'd be a table name. I'm guessing it's a named reference, but yeah, I guess we'll find that when you pull it up.
Yeah. By the way, I managed to get another screen up, so I do see your camera, and I saw the question. So yes, the Excel name reference. It's not the table name. Okay, so let's try it. So
we'll see how we get there.
Yeah. So do you see the smart link, Tim?
And all you had to do, let me move our pictures out of the way. All you had to do was save that smart link, and it shows up on the screen the next time you refresh it.
Yes.
That's really cool. So yeah, I see it. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Excel is not open, as you can see. So it's going to open Excel and open the file that is linked. And after it opens, it's going to filter and refresh.
That's cool.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I was logged out. Okay.
I've seen that Velixo NX just on your website, and I don't even know what that is. This part of Velixo NX?
Yes, this is part of Velixo NX. 1 second. Let me try it again. Okay, now it's refreshing.
And you could populate multiple values. So they're basically just Excel name ranges that get populated with the values on the Acumatica screen, and then it triggers the refresh automatically.
Yes, absolutely. Let me show you how it works. So let's see, forums test. Okay, let's add a cell here. Okay, this cell here in P8, I'm going to call it test. So this is adding.
It needs to be a cell, not a range of cells. I know you can also name a range of cells, but it probably needs to be a cell, right?
It needs to be a cell.
Yeah.
So let's.
So that's the name right there. That's what we mean by name range. It's not the table name. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's edit the smart link, and I will add test here, and I'm going to map it to. Let's map it to the project manager.
Okay.
Yeah, description. Yeah. There's really no point, okay, but this is just to illustrate or explain how this works.
I'm still jazzed that you can modify these actions just by saving. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a few neat tricks that we learned over the years. Paul Mestade's development.
That button on the top there,
yeah,
is that the same button?
It's the same one. Yeah, that's what I was going to show you, Tim. any action in this menu, you can star it, and it will show up
Right. Okay.
like print project balance. This is not unique to SmartLinks. This works with any action. So let's try it now. The description should also end up in the spreadsheet. Yeah, see,
that's really cool. Love it.
Yeah. And as you know, in Excel, you can have formulas that reference other cells. That's how it triggers a recalculation. So when it switched to project 1007 development, that's when it triggered the recalculation.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, so that's a SmartLinks feature. It's smart enough to know if the file is open or not. Excel does not allow you to open the same file multiple times. So in this example where you add Excel already open, it just focuses on the file and it applies the filter.
Cool. Yeah, practically speaking, that's probably what I would do, just because it's a little faster. You already have it open. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a SmartLinks feature. It's a cool one, but one of many. Do you want to get into the query builder? Because I think
let's keep going. Let's get started. I don't want to slow you down. We'll hit them all though. So attachment retrieval, we already talked about. Function-based GL write back. What was that one?
We'll get back to it later. Function-based GL write back. Yeah. Is there an issue with my camera? I see on my iPad.
Yeah, it keeps freezing. I don't know why, but I can hear you fine. So I think we're good.
Go back into StreamYard. I'm back.
Oh, you could try doing your iPad camera. Maybe that'll be better. I don't know.
That could be. Okay. I think it's working now. It's not frozen.
Okay.
Okay. Query builder. So as you know, in Velixo, you can do equal GI and retrieve any of the existing Acumatica GI. I think this is the name of one GI. Let's try it. But you need to build a GI, and you need to know the name of the GI that you're accessing. It's AP build adjustments, not AR. So see, I made a mistake. AP build, so that's going to load the GI. But you need a GI, and you need to know all the field names and GI name before you can access that.
Yeah, and this GI feature was like the big reason why I wanted to do the Excel talk, which we did a while ago, which I put back up on the screen, because it's returning that dynamic array. A lot of people don't even know about that yet, but yeah, it's a big blob of data. I love this. Yep.
Yeah, and actually, while we're on the topic of GIs, there's been another enhancement that you probably haven't seen, Tim, and it was definitely not part of Velixo when we did the podcast. You can now output the content of a GI into an Excel data table. So you just need to put the reference where you want the table to be, and it creates a true data table.
Oh, I like that. I don't remember that. Yeah, I really like that.
So this means that you're now able to sort, filter. You can also add your own columns, your own formula columns in there, even notes. And it's smart enough to, if you have new rows that appear, it's smart enough to keep the note that you added next to the right record.
Can you show that? So Travis, now we're talking table names. If I heard that correctly, you can add a column and it'll. Are you able to show that? I don't want to derail you too much, but that sounds really interesting.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not like if somebody wants to see like the clean version of the What's New in Velixo, they can watch your recording from the webinar we did. I love geeking out, and cool. I like going off script. Yeah, we're live. It's fun.
Okay, I'll find it and drop it in the chat. Is it on the website for the clean version of this?
Yeah. Generic inquiry options, AP build.
Okay, it looks like Travis likes it too.
Okay, let's see. Let me try to create a new. My iPad just fell on the floor. Sorry, guys. Let me create a new workbook. Let's do that. Okay, and I will try to zoom in too.
While you do that, I'm hunting for your webinar link from this week. Maybe on the Velixo page.
It should be on YouTube.
YouTube.
Live. Yeah, we use StreamYard as well. Okay, demo. And Let's do from to. Let's do GI, Acumatica, AP bills and adjustments. And I want to output that here in A7. Okay, so that is going to retrieve every single record from the table. I did not add any filter. Okay. Dates are filtered correctly, so that looks pretty good already. Now, before I'm able to add new columns, I need to make sure that I set up my generic inquiry keys. We want Velixo to know what makes each row unique. And what I need is the type and the reference number. It's already flagged as a key, but we cannot guess with 100% accuracy, so we let the user do this.
Yeah.
And that's also how you set up the incremental or smart refresh. Last modified by as an unsupported data type, EDM string. What did I do here?
And I just put up the link. Probably the easiest way to find is on the Velixo YouTube channel, which is right there. If you want the super polished version of these new features, this is the geek out version of this stuff. Although it seems like this isn't even, you're just kind of mentioning this stuff offhand that I'm like, I didn't know about that one. We're not even really in the new stuff yet.
Yeah, this appeared. I don't know.
Become educate Tim on what you've been up to for the last couple of years.
Yeah. Okay. Let me add a filter. I want to filter on the date. I want the date to be greater than or equal to this one. And I want the date to be less than or equal to that one. Okay, we'll do 2013. And should we add the vendor as well? Maybe we add the vendor. Okay, let's do add power. Okay, vendor. So I'm building my GI filter.
And while you're doing that, it's just reminded me of a quote that a guy I followed, Rob Colley, for years on the Power BI side. He started on the Excel side. He just makes a point that Excel is actually the world's most popular programming language. And I think it's totally correct on that. You know, this stuff you're typing in, there's a large number of people who actually know how to do this stuff. And basically you're programming. People just don't think of it that way. I mean, it's really powerful.
But it's easy, Tim. And with AI and Velixo Intelligence that I'm going to show you later, we're actually making it almost magic.
Yeah. You're making it even easier. No, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, this is cool. Okay, sorry, keep going.
We've made some breakthroughs in the last year. I'm pretty excited, seriously. We'll get back to that later. So anyway, now I have my table here. So it's filtered by vendor and by date. So let's add some nodes right here. So I can insert a column anywhere. Nodes. Okay. Let's say, why was the bill so low? Question mark. Right here. Okay, and let's add a formula, some formula. Let's say this times 25%. Okay, some formula. So we just added two columns. So notice that we've added this in the middle of the table. With dynamic arrays, you cannot do it. You need to add it at the right, at the left, below.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You'll see that I can also sort very easily. So it's
and the note stayed with it. Is that a regular Excel thing?
No, that's not a regular Excel thing.
I didn't think it was. That's what caught my attention. Interesting.
That's proprietary Velixo stuff. Thanks.
Wow.
I just got my pizza. Do you want to eat pizza with me, Tim?
Oh, I'd love to. Oh, I'd super love to.
Yeah, I've been back to back. Yeah, that's my father-in-law brought that for me.
That's what caught my attention. Like Yeah, that's really cool. So the note was in the middle. You sorted. Just sort again, just so I can see it again, just because I think it's so cool. Sort like in ascending order. So then in your notes column, that
Mhm.
note is now on the top. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
But
All right.
that's the easy part. That's the
Yeah.
easy part. The art
And
part
now
is
you're
what
gonna
comes.
tell me you can write it back? That's even crazier.
We could add the write back for sure with write
So
back.
what I'm thinking is there like is this a pretty simple way if you add the write back to basically make like where I'm thinking of is like a master data, maybe AP bills works, but to me more like a customer list or a vendor list or stock items. When you got master data, it's so much easier just to make all your edits in Excel. And it seems like this is a way where you
Yeah.
could do that and write back whatever you do in Excel into the Acumatica database.
Yeah. And
Oh,
you know
that's
what,
cool.
Tim? We even have templates ready to use. That's another new feature in Velixo. You can go to download report templates. Okay, you filter by ERP, and then we have tools template. So they contain the word tool, and this is essentially the idea. We created one to update commission percentages, employee payroll settings. I think there's one for projects. Yeah, update project data. So you can download these templates
I'm glad you
yeah.
brought this up because this also caught my attention in the description of your session last week and why I wanted to attend because I don't know, to me in this world of AI that we're all in now, there's now a exponentially increasing amount of noise and finding like having curated content, I personally think is going to become more and more important. And so that caught my attention on the template side. Like there's a bazillion articles out there on the internet about how to do things in Excel. There's templates you can download, but having a curated library from a source that I trust, I think is valuable. And you just showed it right there. And that caught my attention. That's really interesting because now it's like, how do I do X, Y, Z? Well, I just go to the Velixo library and I know it's going to be good quality stuff. But the real value is that you're just giving me an Excel template. It just, you're the source, and that's interesting to me.
Yeah, and the templates are tested, they're supported, they're documented. It's more than just a random sample file that we dropped on the website.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Travis is asking import scenario replacement maybe. Yeah, I think what it is, and that's what your write back has always been, right? Your write back writes back through an import scenario, so it's super customizable. You can make it write back to anywhere you want. And yeah, that's exactly what I look at it as. Instead of you making edits to the Excel file, running the import scenario, this is more of a live thing where you're able to interact with the Acumatica data table in real time in Excel. Almost real time, right?
Yeah.
All right, sorry, keep going. I'm derailing you.
Yeah. No, we're having fun. So
I also want to give you a chance to chew and swallow. That's what I also was doing there.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So let's clean this up a bit. So you'll see that I'm able to delete a bunch of columns that I don't want. I'm going to rename this one to vendor reference number.
Can you zoom in again a little more?
Yes. I'm just renaming some columns.
Perfect.
Okay. Because by default, I got the internal field name. Okay, but I'm renaming some. So let's change this. Okay, and now let's decide to add 2 more years of data. So if you were just doing a standard dump to a dynamic array formula or a dynamic array, you would lose the nodes that you added, or they would no longer be in the right spot.
Right.
To make that more convincing, I might need to do 2012 instead. Let's see. There's no data in 2012. Let's do 2016. Yeah, let's do something like that. Okay, I will get rid of this comment here. We'll start in 2014 or 2015. Okay. Hi, everyone. Another note.
Now, when you did it right there, is it actually storing it in the local Velixo data on the machine so that if you were to change the date to like 2016 only and the notes disappear and then you change it back to 2013, they reappear? Is that happening?
No, it's not storing it in any database. the process happens when it does refresh the table. So it will take care of temporarily saving the data and restoring it. So you'll see, just change the dates, and it's still there and with the correct row.
No, that's but if you change that to 2016 only and the notes disappear and then you change it again, will they come back?
I don't think so, but let's try it.
I mean, I wouldn't expect them to. I'm just tinkering here. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would expect. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, you need to do the write back if you want those notes to get stored somewhere. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, the real scenario that we wanted to address here is, let's say you have a sheet with all your unpaid invoices and you want to do collection follow-ups and notes. Every time you refresh, you might have new invoices appear, new unpaid invoices, and the invoices may be sorted differently. So we don't want you to lose the notes. The idea was not to create a database. Acumatica should always be your single source of truth.
Right.
This is just peripheral data that should be considered ephemeral, not something that you want to keep forever. The right place for that is Acumatica. And yes, you could use write back if you wanted to push this to the actual record.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, but you're right. Just that sort just makes it so much more usable. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I derailed you. I think we were on the topic of Query Builder before I went down that hole.
Yeah, it's okay, Tim. It's okay. I do enough scripted demos with very specific agendas. It's fine. I'm eating pizza. I'm on a couch. There's a cat right next to me.
I know. I feel like I need to grab some food too.
Yeah, you should. Okay, so Query Builder. So I'm going to get a list of invoices.
And I think the reason why you pulled that up, right, is you want to illustrate that, yeah, you could build a GI and access the GI, but a lot of people don't know how to build a GI. I think that's why we went there, right?
Yeah. Now you can just click Insert Query. This will bring up a list of objects. And the list of objects is searchable. It's every single object exposed by your Acumatica system. But what's nice is that you don't need to know
that 4 that you were talking about earlier, right? This is all the data access classes. Yeah.
Correct. And you don't need to know that it's AP Tran or AR invoice or whatever. You just type a few words. Okay, it's going to find all the matching objects.
Love it.
Okay. So you have that for the objects, and you have the same thing for the fields too. So let's say reference number right here. Let's get the date. Let's get the amount, total amount. You can also navigate relation fields. So I want to get to the customer table.
And that's
right now you can
part. Yeah.
So right now, if you search customer, it's not going to filter this list down below. We're working on that. Okay, but at the very bottom, you have all the related objects. So AP register, business account, branch, cash account, and we do have customer.
So like customer terms, let's say terms or something. I want to get off the customer.
You have payment method. Okay, let's get to the customer.
Or payment method. Yeah, that's fine.
We have access to the terms. Yeah, we have access to the terms right here. Term ID.
Oh, and you're drilling down multiple times. Then you can drill down within the terms. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So this takes care of generating the query. So let's click Insert.
Yeah, so all you're doing is selecting fields essentially, and it's going to do the table join for you. Okay.
Yes, it's point and click. Yeah, give it a few seconds.
And then I'm going to fall off my chair if you can tell me you can write that generic inquiry back into Acumatica.
Not yet.
Good. I can stay on my chair then.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe possible though in the future.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What would be cool, Tim? There's something called GIQL, Generic Inquiry Query Language.
Yes. I've thought about that as a way to write back eventually. I don't think the screen can accept the code in there yet, right? But yeah, that would be a cool way to do it.
Yeah. I don't know why it gave me no record, but I'm suspecting it might have to do.
Oh, did I mess you up with the terms?
I don't know if it's the terms. This is really odd, or maybe because I don't have any filter.
So it looks like your function, it's actually just a function,
Yeah.
accu.query. Interesting. Huh.
Yes, it does. It does output a function at the end. That's it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think it had to do with the relationships that I was trying to retrieve. But you get, yes, it's a function, but you can always go back into the query builder and make refinements to it.
So yeah, let's just prove that we can pull something from another table, because I don't think we got that working yet, right?
Let's go back here. So I'm going to get customer, customer name, and customer ID. Update. Let's try it. And then I will show you the filter. Yeah, it works.
Okay, cool. And then I'm curious, the function up on the top shows AR invoice as the object, and then just a bunch of field names. So the joins are just happening as part of what the function does. That's cool.
Yeah. It's probably hard to see, but right here.
I think if you double click in the cell, we'll get the pop-up inline, right?
Will be clear. Yeah. So it's using the dot syntax. So it's relation name or field name. Okay, so that's how we get account name and account code.
I love it.
You can do filters as well. So we have a visual filter designer now. So I can do plus. Dog date is greater than or equal to this value here. And the dog date is less than or equal to this value here. So you can do the filter as well. And what you saw earlier that you also like, the ability to mirror to a table, it's also possible.
I missed it. That showed up in the formula as well, right? Whatever you added to the filter.
The filter, okay. Yeah, it showed up in the formula, yes. And I'm going to have it output to a table in A8. Let's click update. Yeah, this is using accu.query filter. It wrote it.
Yeah, do that double click on the cell again, the A6. just easier for me to see it that way. Yeah, okay, cool.
Huh?
So then, is that basically, I know you used to have a function called filter. I mean, basically is the new way to do it, the accu.filter?
Well, GI filter, this is for generic inquiries. Okay, and accu.query filter, this is for the OData v4 endpoint.
Okay. Yeah, so there's still reasons why, like, if you needed to do a join that's not, a standard join that the relations know about, there is still a reason to build a GI if you need to get more advanced. Yeah.
Yes.
But this opens up a lot of doors. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere. There are some limitations to be aware of when using the OData v4 endpoint. And since this is a geek out session, I feel like I can share this very comfortably. So right now, the Acumatica implementation does not allow us to filter by any relation field. So in this example, we could not filter AR invoice by customer ID.
Gotcha.
Yes. And this is not really convenient. We've raised this. Acumatica has been reviewing. So just something to keep in mind. So I can do a nice demo, but there are use cases where I find this a bit annoying. With GIs, it's not a problem at all. But when using the OData v4 endpoint, it is.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Do we have any new questions, Tim?
Not at this point. If the chat, I think the kids these days just call it the chat. If the chat has any questions or comments, feel free to put it in there. Yeah, so you're just catching me up to speed. Like, none of this is super new stuff, right? Like, this is The AI is the new.
Query Builder is brand new.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, we already have the Accu.query function, but with no Query Builder on top of it.
Got it.
Smart links existed in one of the other ecosystems that we work in, and we just ported that to Acumatica. The idea behind smart links existed, so we just took the idea and implemented it in Acumatica as well, as part of the Velixo package. Yeah. There's a bunch of things behind the scenes in the Velixo product itself to make SmartLink works. Someone could actually use what we built to embed links in any web page to Velixo workbook. So without giving away too many secrets, smart links are essentially another type of URLs on your machine. Okay, just like HTTP, you have Velixo links.
That my brain was just trying to figure out. As soon as you go to URLs, there's got to be a ton of use cases for this. Yeah.
So the URL could be
keep going.
Page. Yeah. Good. So where do we go next, Tim? What do you want me to show you?
Okay, Kurt has a question. I assume I need to update the Velixo customization project inside of Acumatica. Yeah, to get the new features. I think the answer would be yes, right? Yeah, makes sense. Wait, but where were you going on the URL thing? So you were going to give us like a little. Oh, Ellen's got one too. Sorry, this is great. I'd be interested in the construction templates. Yeah, totally. You want to do a little tour of those, a little more in-depth tour of those?
Yeah, I can talk about templates. So you can access the templates from the Velixo help section, download report templates. So this is part of the construction solution. People that go there will need to sign in, and they might need to drop me an email to get access. Okay, if you see this, if you see a mention that you need to get the construction edition, contact your partner. So we are going to charge a separate fee for new users moving forward, but existing Acumatica clients will get access to the construction pack that we created. We use the data we add to enable access. If you do not have access to construction templates, you can drop me an email. Tim, if you want to put my email address up on screen, I don't mind.
Yeah, is it Gabriel? Just Gabriel Velixo?
Yeah, Velixo.com.
Yeah. All right. Dropping that on the screen there. Yeah. So existing customers can drop that on. And it makes sense that you would, I mean, to me, coming back to that point about the world of increasing exponentially amount of noise and curated content becoming more and more important. That's why I personally am big on video training courses. That's a big effort to create all that stuff. And I think you should be compensated for that. So that makes sense going forward that you would have some subscription charge or something to this library.
Yeah, this is more than templates. We've also added features and functionality within the Velixo product. So if you recall, we discussed attachments. This was built as part of that. There's one called substantiated billing reports. Yeah, right here. So this required support from the Velixo add-in, from the Velixo tools. It's a big endeavor. So we want to make sure that this gets valued properly by our users. But anyway, any existing Acumatica user will get access to it.
That's cool.
So from the templates library, you can filter by ERP, and then you can select construction. So we have AP and AR aging reports with retainage, commitment detailed by cost code. There is this cost at completion spreadsheet that we were working on earlier. This one here. That's a cool one, actually. We can take a look.
When did you launch this library idea?
Library was a few months ago. Velixo for Acumatica construction was last month.
But the library was just a few months ago, and you've already got a ton of stuff in there. I'm sure it kind of built up over the years, but still, that's
we have an entire team now working on templates.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah. So let's open. Okay. Oh, it's still trying to access the test range that we created earlier. I deleted it, so I got an error message. Okay.
Yeah, and just further thoughts on this whole library idea, like you guys are really born out of the Acumatica ecosystem, Acumatica
Mm-hmm.
ecosystem has, I don't know, whatever it is nowadays, 20,000 or less customers. But the Excel ecosystem has like 800 million people in it. You know, it's bigger than the size of the United States population wise. And that library idea, I mean, to me, that's valuable to the entire Excel ecosystem. So that's pretty cool that you start in the Acumatica tiny little fish pond, right? And now you're able to swim in the, like, as a legitimate contender in the entire ocean of Excel ecosystem. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so as well. Tim, this is the cost to complete template. This one is very important for construction companies.
Can you zoom in on this one?
Yes, I will. There's a lot of data. So I will zoom
Yeah, you
in.
might have to scroll. That's fine, but at least we can read it. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so I just picked one of my projects. So I have it set up to go down to the task and cost code level. So you see every single task and cost code used on the project. And for each one, you have a set of information starting from the estimates. So original estimate, change orders, and revised estimate. Then you have your commitment data. So any purchase order or any subcontract order that was sent, changes, invoice commitments, and the balance to invoice.
Can I pause you for a second?
Yes.
Because I don't know if this messes up the screen when I do this. Give me a second. I want a way to have our little pictures move off to the left, and I just need to do something. Give me a moment. I have to create a new layout here. This one. This will be good enough for now. All right, good. Gives me a way just to get us off to the side. All right, keep going. Now I can see your stuff better.
Yeah, so we have cost to date, month to date cost, and job to date. Just as a FYI, now we're also enabling people to get balances as of a specific date. So it's no longer limited to the period.
Does that mean you have to read, so geeking out, does that mean you have to read all the GL Tran data in order to do that?
On the GL side, we do have custom inquiries, and we've built a way to do that efficiently. For projects, Acumatica actually added a table that is similar to PM history.
Okay.
But it also has by date data. Yeah, so we do support that now when you do project ending amount or project turnover. As an example, is that project?
Okay, that's cool.
Turnover amount.
And then on the GL side, that's probably why you went the customization project route, so you don't have to pull in the entire list of debits and credits to pull that.
Yeah, and there's no built-in solution at this stage. I know it's on the roadmap. I saw that at Summit last week, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
And that's the pretty nice thing that I wanted to focus on. These templates and many construction templates also include a write back component. So you can use this sheet to do cost projections in Acumatica. You can come in and say, okay, I'm expecting to spend another $50,000 a year. That would be another 10K. You can.
Sorry, can you zoom in again? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cost to complete. Okay, so you can input the blue columns are editable. You can enter something, and this writes back to an Acumatica cost projection.
Yeah, remind us how you trigger that write back.
Yes, you click perform write back, current sheet. There you go. Or
and then is it smart enough? Like you have a status of pending. Is it smart enough to know just the cells that changed, or is it ripple through the entire list?
If you do current sheet, it will ripple through the entire list. You could build in logic if you wanted to. You could add the logic yourself to only write back when there are changes, but out of the box, if you just call write back, it will always write back. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and click it. I just want to see how long it takes. I'm curious. So it's writing changes, and it's just writing the write back fields, obviously, back into the Acumatica database. And then does it also trigger the refresh when it's done, so you get updated data if there is any? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I can go to cost projection. Cost projection, and so this is probably this one. Yeah, revision date today. So that's what we just pushed to Acumatica. You can see extra costs. Yeah.
So I
That's-
feel bad checking the time here. We haven't even hit
Yeah.
the cool AI stuff. A lot of this was kind of catch up on what you guys have been doing. The template stuff's cool. Is now a good time, you think, to hit the?
Yeah, we have a few minutes, I think, right? 3 minutes.
Well, I think we still had on the calendar. I think I put whole another half an hour on here. If I remember.
Oh, okay.
How's your calendar look?
I wasn't sure it was.
Yeah, we got another half an hour. I wanted to give a substantial amount of time to the AI stuff.
Let me check what else is interesting in the slides. Function-based GL writeback is actually pretty useful for anyone doing writebacks. We used to rely on a specific data table format, and now it uses a function, just like the cost projection writeback that you saw.
And it's still using import scenarios, though, on the back end to update everything?
No, the GL budget, cost projection, project forecast, this is all using APIs directly. We don't rely on import scenarios for it. Yeah.
But I can still do an import scenario for like custom scenarios that I want to write back to.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Universal writeback will use import scenarios that you need to build, but the standard ones we're just directly calling the APIs. If you do budget 2026,
gotcha.
So that we just use the budget screen. Yeah. Okay. Constructions, we touched on that. Did you hear about our new partnership with Stack?
I think I did. This is like a construction SaaS solution that you're now integrating with, something like that?
Yes, pre-construction. They have a takeoff and estimating solution built in. Let me just log in here to give you an idea of how this thing looks. It's a pretty slick product. They have very passionate customers and users, just like Velixo. Some of them are already leveraging this new integration that we built. So it's actually called Stack for Excel, but behind the scene, it is Velixo. But why it's interesting in the context of Acumatica
I'm dropping the product on the screen, stackct.com. That's the product. Okay.
Yeah. Go to plans and takeoffs.
So they're specifically targeting takeoffs in the construction industry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can do your measurements for all your flooring, finishing, roofing, ceiling, and so on. And instead of having to take all the quantities and export them into Excel, with Velixo, you can access this information directly in real time. I will open this sample that they built.
Yeah, there's a ton of use cases for this table thing that you built. I mean, just nothing's better than editing data in Excel. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, this is it. As you can see, it's pulling all the Stack takeoff data into a table, and it's real time. So I can come in here, select from my project list, go to a different project, and it uses all this data with simple Excel formulas to generate a proposal.
That's cool.
Yeah. In construction, everyone uses Excel for estimating. There's, you need to be very, very, very standardized to use a CPQ tool. Most companies are better with Excel. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, and this is another good area for writeback. I built this as a demo, but you can use the ERP connector to create the customer, create the project, create the project tasks, and even the project budget based on the information that you extracted from Stack. So that's also using the Velixo writeback piece.
Love it. Excel as middleware right there. Another use case of Excel as the most popular middleware tool. Love it.
Yeah. We have a bunch of usability tools, but why don't we jump straight to the cool stuff?
All right, let's do it. AI. So AI is all over the place. I feel like most of the places it's showing up is just annoying me, Like I go into Gmail now and like I have less space on my inbox, like because AI, I don't care about it, but it's dominating. But I think this is a cool use case for AI where I'm actually going to care about it. But before we get there, it looks like Travis has a comment. I hope one day with modern UI and TypeScript usage, the ability to copy paste Excel directly into a screen becomes possible. Actually, I don't totally follow that. Do you?
I think I know what he's talking about. Yes. So let's say you're working on a big sales order in Acumatica, 300 lines. Being able to copy paste the quote lines into Excel, do something in Excel, and then paste it back, or like simply add 20 lines to any screen in Acumatica by copy pasting from Excel.
Good point. Instead of having to save the Excel file and upload it from the screen. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yes. And have to match a very specific format that the import uses. Yes. Well, I just saw you put yes.
So AI, yeah. So I think this is an actually good use case for AI. So yeah, walk us through it. What do you got going on here? Right when you took a bite, yeah. Let me see. I'll say a little bit more. AI. Is it just for building formulas, or is it also for analyzing data? I think that's one question I had. Like, is it just to make building? Yeah.
Yeah, it's for many different things. So first of all, let me go through what our original vision was and what we did early on. So I just used a drill down feature to analyze my expenses in Velixo. So when Microsoft introduced Copilot 2 years ago, we decided to embrace it and support as much as possible into our application, so that we would not need to write our own AI layer into Velixo. So the first enhancement we shipped was related to drill down, and now you can use Copilot to analyze the drill down data. So rather than have a single sub-account column with a set of cryptic letters and numbers, we've expanded the output to include the actual segment values. So this is not a very good example because I just have two segments here, product group and department. But let me see if I have my nonprofit. 1 second. I'll get that. That was from Summit 2023, I think.
So if your GL sub-account structure had 5 different segments in it, they'd all get 5 different columns showing up.
Yeah. Copilot demo. Maybe this one, I use this at Summit. No, this one is in French. Not going to be helpful today. That would be my rapid byte file, probably. I did have one that included a very complex drill down for a nonprofit. No, it's not there either. I was not ready to show this, but it's not this one. I'm sorry, I cannot find, but I had a sheet like so. They had the usual program fund dimensions with a lot of values. So the idea here was that you could just open Copilot and ask questions about your data. So what is the total turnover for department corporate? And the hope here was that we could eventually extend Copilot to support Velixo specific features. Okay. And let's see.
Actually, yeah, let's linger for a moment because I personally haven't used this Copilot and Excel thing at all here. Maybe give us the basics, the non-Velixo piece first.
Yeah, it's the brand name that Microsoft uses for anything AI related. They've added Copilot everywhere, like literally everywhere in every single product.
Right.
They
in a lot of places I don't want it, but here it is useful.
Well, yeah, it is useful, but it has not evolved the way I would have liked it to evolve. I think I'm asking a pretty simple question here, and it's not able to answer it.
What about
we
anomaly
did
detection? You ever tried doing anomaly detection with it?
is there anything irregular about this sheet?
And I found with AI in general, the longer the prompt, the better. So like if you give it a whole background, an employee stole money from us last month and we're super concerned about fraud and we're looking for transactions that might be funny. Like the longer you type, the better it does, I find, at giving a response.
Yeah. And see, it's looking at the overall workbook instead of looking at this sheet.
Yeah.
Like I personally gave up on using Copilot, and we did, we pivoted to a different strategy for Velixo Intelligence as well. Unfortunately, this has not evolved the way I would have liked it to evolve. Yes, there are now some integration options for us, but like nearly not enough. So
you're never going to lose this capability. You've just sort of maybe temporarily pivoted away from Copilot until it gains some traction or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. We will always support it. We will embrace whatever they have. The other reason to why we looked at doing something ourselves is that to use this, you need to have a Copilot subscription. It's quite expensive by itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Our customers would buy Copilot just to leverage a few new Velixo features.
Gotcha.
So we rolled out our own solution, which still uses industry-leading LLMs and tools, including tools from Microsoft, OpenAI, and Anthropic, to release Velixo Intelligence. So we have 3 different agents and a 4th additional feature that is related to the analyst agent. And rather than talk through this slide, I'm actually going to demo 4 different scenarios for you. So I do have the videos lined up. Do you want to play the videos, Tim?
Yeah. So actually, before I do, just so I'm understanding correctly, the Copilot idea, that's a subscription you need from Microsoft. You're still free to use that. Velixo Intelligence is your own AI tool that's using multiple LLMs on the background. Like, how does billing work with that? I'm curious.
We're still working on that at the moment. Early adopters, it's completely free at the moment.
Okay.
We're still developing this. We have early adopters that are already working with it. There will be a form. After I did the webinar this week, we've received multiple emails. There will be a form up on the Velixo website for people who want to sign up and start using this.
Okay, cool. So do you want me to just play like the first one and then we'll talk about it and then go from there?
Yes. The first one is the guide agent. So let's imagine that you have a question on Velixo or you have an issue that you want to troubleshoot on your spreadsheet. So Tim, you can start it.
Okay.
It's zoom in, so it will look a lot nicer. Yes. So there's an error on this workbook, and I don't know what it is. So we're going to use Velixo Intelligence. Is it playing?
It is not. So we might have that same issue with your laptop.
You know what? Turn on screen sharing again for me. I will do it from my computer. Okay. So the guide agent. So I have an error on my spreadsheet. As you can see, there's value everywhere. With Velixo and Excel, you can get cell level error messages, but in this case, it's not really useful. So let's try using Velixo Intelligence to understand what's going on. So I'm going to select the area that is showing me errors, and I'm going to ask it to troubleshoot what's going on. When you do so, it's going to leverage product-specific knowledge. So it knows how Velixo works behind the scenes. It knows how to access any error message that we log. And it also has access to our own documentation. So it does analyze and comes back with a very detailed answer that also includes links to our documentation. So I'm scrolling up here, and you'll see exactly what the error is. So in cell E8, we have an invalid financial period. And since this period is referenced in multiple cells, the error cascades everywhere. I just need to say, fix it for me.
No, please. You weren't polite to the AI.
No, I'm just wasting carbon credits by doing so.
Good point.
So
Environmentally friendly prompt.
yes, it does fix it. But Tim, why I think this is cool, we did not need to teach Velixo how to fix this error. We did not need to teach it about this specific issue. We just train the LLM with our documentation. We added tools to interact with Velixo, and with some magic, it's able to identify and fix errors that would take a lot of time for the average untrained Excel user.
Very interesting. And I feel like, per earlier comment about you leaving the tiny, not leaving, but you starting in the tiny Acumatica pond and now swimming in the gigantic Excel ocean, this is useful for anyone using Excel, not just Acumatica users, right? That's very interesting. I mean, actually, I should say it broader. It's useful for anyone using Excel, not just people who are using the ERPs or the new thing stack that it's not just for the products you integrate with, it's anyone using Excel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very interesting.
Are you ready for another scenario?
Before you go there, so I think that's another point about the document, that document library of both templates and also just knowledge. That matters, what's in that library, because that's what the LLM is trained on and how it knows to do stuff. So that's another, I think, further point of why it's important that Velixo's become not just a piece of software, but it's become a piece of knowledge that you can subscribe to. So I like that.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, it's smart enough to know that you're an Acumatica user. We do Intact, we do Business Central. When you're troubleshooting a spreadsheet, it is not using knowledge that is not relevant to you. So if you're working on an Acumatica spreadsheet, it is just going to look at our Acumatica product documentation.
Like it.
Yeah. So it's right here at help.velixo.com. So you're looking at the Acumatica documentation here. So anything that you search for is relevant. And yeah, we do have AI here today as well. So how do I filter by account range? Okay, there's already an AI piece here. But what you saw in the first demo is this is not the best answer, I would say, but it's there. Yeah, so let's do thumbs down.
Okay.
Yeah, could have been better. Okay.
So then the next piece, so that's helping you fix errors. All right. Yeah. What's the next piece you got?
So Tim, you also worked as a CPA earlier in your career, correct?
Yes. Spreadsheets, and more spreadsheets. Yep.
Yes. So let's say you need to write a document for your management explaining, the current month or current year performance. This is something you would have needed to do manually by reviewing, researching, and so on, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's have Velixo Intelligence write this commentary for you. So you click and you select Summarize Current Sheet. So the first time I saw something like that was about a year ago, and I was not really impressed because at that time, all the LLM could tell you is that you are losing money because you're spending more than you earn, which is like, yeah, thanks, Einstein. I didn't need you to tell me. But now it actually got to a point where it's highlighting very important things, especially if you have a complex report. But here, take a look at the question on the right-hand side. It's asking me to confirm the budget version and to validate the prior year period mapping. And the reason it's telling me to check this is that it thinks the numbers are so far off from where they should be that there is a high likelihood that there's an error somewhere in my spreadsheet. As you can see, my prior year actuals are like barely $300 revenue, while our budget for the current month is $8 million. So there's something that doesn't make sense here. So it is telling me to look into these numbers and to validate both the budget and the prior year actuals. Otherwise, if not, well, you have something wrong. But no, and this is something, by the way, that works on all sorts of sheets. I could use it here. I just actually went back to Excel. Let's try to use it on this one. Summarize current sheet. That's
putting up Melissa's comment. This is amazing. Gives areas for controllers, etc., to focus in on. Yeah, cut through the noise. I like that. Nice selling point to the
yeah.
Folks. I feel like if you're a publicly traded company and you have those quarterly earnings calls, and then the part where the CFO gets on and everyone kind of falls asleep and talks about the numbers, I feel like in the future, like they're just going to be reading this output. They don't need to generate it all anymore. That's pretty cool.
Yes. And as you can see, you can ask follow-up questions. I just asked it to summarize everything in one paragraph.
I like the bold font. It's nice how it calls out things in bold font.
Yeah, and we're going to make improvements. I did see something in Claude, the Claude Excel extension from Anthropic. They have direct hyperlinks to cells, so we're going to implement something like that as well, so that you can just click and be sent directly to the cell that you're on. Yeah. So there's one more thing that you can do with this analysis, which I think you will like as well. So you can do the same type, but at the cell level by using the vx.analysis function. So you can put any prompt. For example, you want it to give you a short 100 characters summary with or without any numbers and referencing other cells. So here I'm referencing the account name, the actuals, and the budget. And it's able to give me, 1 second, let me pause this. So it's giving me the commentary for each cell. But at this stage, it's part of the workbook. It's just another dynamic Velixo function. So if you change the date, if you change the branch, it's going to reevaluate and refresh this.
And then what about the link part? You mentioned a link, or you just meant it was dynamically feeding data into it, not linking back out of it?
It's dynamically feeding. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can actually, I will exit the recording once it's done. Okay. But let's say, and actually, let's have fun with this. We can do. Okay, so it's right here. So let's do vx.analysis. I am Tim Rodman, an old grumpy who is about to be fired. Provide the worst possible analysis of this. The account name is salaries. My actuals for this month is this, and then the budget was, and then I reference the budget. Provide the worst possible analysis.
Yeah, how about after the worst possible analysis? Because I don't care anymore. Because I don't care about my job anymore. And this was what I found, like interacting with ChatGPT, the more background, the more wordy you are, the better the response is.
Okay. Let's see what it comes back with.
And while it's calculating, I could see how with this function piece, just knowing that you have the LLM working on the back end, and that's a cost. And I think people will have to be careful. If you paste that down to 1 million cells, you're now making 1 million LLM calls, and that could get very expensive very fast, right?
Yeah. No, it's actually very friendly.
Yeah, it was too friendly. Yeah.
I think our system prompt is designed to avoid these things. But Like
That's pretty cool. Cool to see it in real time like this.
Yeah, funny story. At some point with ChatGPT, I had ChatGPT memorize one of those city prompts, and it was a bit different. But imagine that ChatGPT remembers that you're an old grumpy CEO. So
Right.
every answer that I was getting back on every single chat was like using the same tone. And I got to a point where I was considering resetting my ChatGPT account because I could not get rid of this.
Oh, that's funny.
And the settings section is called memory. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And I did it. One second. So provide, and then select a random language.
What's that?
Give me a language like Russian, German, Polish.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, let's go with German.
In German. Okay. Let's try it. German. Okay. So
yeah, helpful for the international company.
Yeah. I did a demo for a company in Puerto Rico at Summit, and I did it in Spanish. Let's see if it works as a prompt.
And as it's calculating, like here's another case where just Excel is really good at this stuff. Excel is super good at you being able to format it, right? And you can merge cells, you can, and yeah, you're basically crafting an artistic document, not just data. And I like that about Excel. It's like, yeah, you got some spacing issues here, but you could totally clean that up in Excel very easily.
And it's German.
That's cool. Wow. And then what might be cleaner in that case is instead of having it reanalyze it, you'd have it analyze it in English, and then the next cell would point to the previous cell and just say translate this cell into German, something like that, right?
Yes, and you can reference multiple ranges as well. Let me geek out even more. Okay,
oh,
here,
please.
vx.analysis, output this PNL in German. And mess with the numbers as if we are Enron. Okay. Let's see if it does change.
I'll go back to Travis's earlier question. You know, if we could just give it a table reference or a dynamic array reference.
Yes. I gave it a table reference in this case.
I like
or
that.
a range reference. Yeah, let's see.
So our first number is about 6 million for net sales. Yeah, let's see what it turns that into. Yeah, and since you mentioned Enron, hopefully it's going to increase the gross profit margin if it was smart.
Oh, it did not output as a table though. I will look this up. It is supposed to output as a table. We added outputting tables earlier. So yeah, this is still early, but it's still already very useful for many use cases. Yeah.
You had a fourth video, but that was on Query Builder, and I think we hit that already, right?
No, let's look at the Query Builder one. It's the Report Builder agent. What do you think this
is? So it's on top of the. Okay, yeah, let's see that. How are you on time, by the way? Do you have a hard cutoff in 5 minutes?
No, we're good.
All right, cool. By the way, thanks to everyone who attended live, and any more comments, questions, feel free to drop it in there. I think, the main reason why I like doing this is it makes the recording super easy, but I appreciate you attending live.
So Tim, imagine you're looking at your P&L, you're drilling down because something is higher than expected.
Okay.
Drill down will give you the list of accounts, amounts. You could go to Acumatica by clicking View Transactions. But what if instead you wanted to have a live, real-time GL transaction report in the spreadsheet? So you can actually prompt Velixo Intelligence to build a new sheet that will output all the transactions using this query button that you saw earlier. And you can see it. This is almost real-time. and that's the
Oh, and
result.
in this case, this is not really having to do like thinking. It's just building it based off the data it already knows, the formula, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah, like
again, it's generic. I know Philip tried it. We added create a WIP report for a project-based company, and it did create a working WIP report.
interesting.
No, this is really slick. Yeah.
And I think here's where that library comes in again, because you're like, hey, build me a WIP report, and it has context of what that should look like because of the library of templates that you guys are continually adding to.
You know what? I think pretty soon we will not even need a library. We will not need to write reports from scratch because the AI will be good enough to generate any type of report. This report will be linked to Acumatica using Velixo functions, and your work will focus on high value tasks. The same thing is already happening in the software engineering world. I am absolutely convinced that the job of programmer will pretty much disappear very, very quickly. Programmers will become product managers, subject matter experts that will prompt the LLMs for specific things, and they will be code reviewers, QA testers that verifies the output. We're like the last 6 months, things have evolved tremendously, and it is accelerating, I would say.
Can you do whatever you did to fix your camera? I want to put that up on the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry,
You
man.
did something. Yeah, I had it in small mode, so it doesn't matter. I want to make you in big mode again. There you go. I think I have you back. Yeah.
Back.
So no, totally. Like on the programmer side, a friend of mine sent me an email earlier this week, and he started using this thing called OpenClaw, which has kind of blown up the AI world, at least for a few weeks. And basically over the weekend, he set something up where it goes through like his list of priorities as a programmer, and it just goes out. It gets it from GitHub. It writes the code for him and then queues it up for him to review. Like he did this just over a weekend. And now he's like in the mode of now all I'm doing is reviewing. It's basically a programmer that works for him now. And he just is reviewing the code and then decides what to check back in. So totally in the programmer world. And then with the idea that Excel really is the world's most popular programming language, it makes total sense that that's what happens to Excel as well. Yeah.
No, and it's going to happen to many other fields, not just engineering. I think engineering is ahead of the curve, but for the type of work that controllers, FP&A people do in Excel and other apps, LLMs will do the majority of the work pretty soon.
Now, you did say where you feel like the library becomes obsolete, and I actually still feel like the library becomes more important, and here's why. I'm curious your thoughts on this. In the broad LLM world, like when you take that thing and you apply it to a task, it's like getting someone with 1,000 PhDs to work on something for you, right? And that's good in some cases, but in a lot of cases, you don't want that massive amount of intelligence because you can't really influence it. Whereas if you confine it to the library, it's like, I want it in a certain style. I want it, a certain way, and I want the Velixo way of doing it. And so I still really like that library where it's like, I know I'm going to get a WIP report that's in a certain style and not just in this generic LLM style. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, no, you have a good point, and the library could also be used as a starting point. You could get a WIP report from the library and then use the LLM to make changes to it, not just starting changes, but let me give you another example. Commission reports. There's probably 5,000 different ways to calculate commissions. We have a bunch of templates on the Velixo website, but you could start with one and then use the LLM to make changes to have this template work by calculating based on gross profit instead of the sales price, as an example. So instead of having to edit the formulas, you could ask the LLM to make the changes. And most likely, since you're starting from a working example, the likelihood of success would be higher than if it was starting from scratch, building something with zero initial knowledge.
Yeah, so you could go either way, but yeah, I like that flexibility. But back on the pricing side of it, so, and share whatever you are able to share at this point. So like, you've basically got your own Velixo AI for reasons we already talked about. Copilot, not quite there yet. I've experienced the same thing with Copilot personally. But how it works on the back end. Is it like you've got tokens, do you decide which LLMs you're using on the back end, or like how does that work?
Yes, we do, and we use different ones based on the different agents and scenarios. We can dynamically switch to based on the context.
I don't make that choice. Velixo is making that choice for me, right?
Yes. And we will need to make choices too based on cost. So that's one question I cannot answer. I have no idea how much this is actually costing us at the moment.
Right.
I don't know if we can offer this free of charge without losing a ton of money. And also some of the more complex LLMs also have performance limitations that we need to keep in mind. So you saw when I did this analysis function, it took like 10 seconds. I feel it's a bit long. And they are, for example, GPT 5.1 mini is much, much faster and also cost a fraction of the pro models that they have. So we need to I had a meeting with John Reed from Diginomica last week at Summit, and he was talking about the importance of right-sizing the model. And I relayed that to the team. As we keep evolving Velixo Intelligence.
Tell me what you mean by that. What does that phrase mean?
Give me one sec. Please don't bring my screen back up too quickly.
I won't.
Okay. Yeah. Can you do it now?
I think so. Where is it? There we go.
Yeah. You can see. So that's ChatGPT. So you have instant, you have thinking, and you have pro. So obviously, if you ask GPT 5.2 Pro to analyze your P&L, it's going to take a lot more time and cost a lot more money, simply because the model has more parameters, it thinks longer, and so on. So this is what I mean by right-sizing the model. When you're troubleshooting formula errors, maybe GPT 5.2 instant is the right one. If you're doing
pick the right size of brain for a particular task, essentially. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. No, that's kind of my sane thinking when I'm saying that you're an LLM's like applying someone with 1,000 PhDs, and it's like, I don't need the cost of that to do this little tiny task that I need done. Yeah. So you guys, and I like that about having your own AI, and that you're making all of those decisions for someone. They don't have to keep up to date on the constantly changing landscape of which tools to use and what scenarios. You guys are making those decisions. I like that.
And like, see, just this week, Anthropic released Opus 4.6. They're talking about Excel specifically. They do have an Excel add-in as well. So we will need to check if 4.6 would provide any meaningful advantage over what we've been using. The idea is to keep improving. There are also risks associated to changes in the model. I remember earlier last year, OpenAI kept deprecating old models and releasing apparently improved ones, but people were seeing degradations in workflows that worked before. It's non-deterministic. 2 + 2 = 4 today, but it might not equal 2 + 2 = 4 today, might not equal 4 tomorrow. Which is one of the issues with LLMs. It's not, you don't have, unlike a traditional set of coding instructions where you have inputs and a guaranteed output, you don't have guaranteed outputs with LLMs.
Yep, totally. And I think that'll be, so I like your decision to go down this path of your own AI. And I think it'll be really interesting in the next 5 years to see how much you're still really relying on LLMs, because for exactly that reason, they're maybe too generative for accountants. We want something that's super predictable. Be interesting. But you're still automating, right? Like, it might just be that these are agents that are just doing a series of steps that we know what they are, but they're not, doing the generative stuff. It'd be really interesting to see what happens in the next 5 years. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, I took a lot of your time. I really appreciate you catching me up on stuff and covering the new cool AI stuff. Any other closing thoughts that you want to share?
Hey, thanks for having me, Tim. It's been too long. I think we should do that once in a while, whenever there's anything new on your side, on my side, or with the companies that we work with. I think it would be great to do another episode together.
Totally agree. Well, great to see you last week at Summit briefly. Great to catch up longer and detailed on this one. And yeah, do look for I'll be just curious to hear what your thoughts are when I drop my thoughts on the summit keynotes from last week. I'll drop them at that link right there. But you can tell me what your thoughts are when you read it.
When is that getting posted, Tim?
Well, it's there now, but the main one is the day 2 one. That's not there yet. And I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on that when you read it.
Oh, I see. You did a podcast with John Reed?
I didn't. No, I just thought those were 2 good recap episodes.
Okay. I thought it was yours.
Yeah, just kind of like my 4 links for ways to catch up on what happened last week at Acumatica Summit 2026.
Okay, man.
All right. Well, thanks again, and we'll be in touch.
Have a great weekend.